and welcome to another teacher talk session tonight. And tonight we are having another educator from different part of the world, as you know. And tonight we are having a teacher trainer, Esra Ezici from Türkiye. When she comes, we are going to start our live session with her, and we have lots of questions to talk with her. Let me accept her in. Yes.
So finally.
Yeah, finally, we are here together. Okay, I can see you, I can hear you clearly, Hocam, and you can also, I think, see and hear me clearly. All
Yeah.
right. So these things can happen sometimes, but it's not about us. It's about the Instagram. It's about the software. Anyways, finally, we are here.
Yeah.
Before starting it, I would like to say thank you very much for accepting my invitation and being our guest tonight for Teacher Talks 228 session. Thank you, Hocam.
Thank you for having me, Volkan Hocam, and thanks everyone for your patience. Finally, we're ready to go.
Yeah, exactly. I know educators are always busy, and I'm sure that you are also very busy and have got lots of things to do. And if you're ready, can we start?
Yes, sure.
Sure. I know about you, Esra, but maybe our audiences would like to know about you. So can you tell us about yourself, please, and a bit about your experiences too?
Okay, thank you. I've been in English language teaching for 26 years with over 2 decades of experience in the classroom. And during my career, I've taught English at all levels. And I also served as the head of department and foreign languages coordinator. And currently, I'm working as a teacher trainer, and I'm also an edtech expert focusing on AI integration into language teaching. My recent sessions mostly focus on AI. However, I deliver training sessions on a wide range of ELT topics internationally, both face-to-face and online. And I travel a lot for work in Türkiye and also internationally. And I really like having the opportunity to connect with educators across different cultures and countries, I have to say. And I'm also deeply passionate about creativity and the human side of education,
Uh-huh.
specifically well-being, storytelling, drama, learner engagement, and motivation. And on a personal note, I have a daughter, a 20 years old daughter who is based in Istanbul, studying business at
Wow.
Özyeğin University, and I miss her a lot. Um, as for my hobbies, I'm into reformer Pilates and rowing. And since I live in Marston, a beautiful city on the Mediterranean coast, I
Yeah,
have the
we know.
opportunity to go rowing at sunrise, and I really enjoy it. That's all about me. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for this brief about yourself, Esra Hocam. Okay, so my next question is, what was over your turning point or points in your own education?
Well, that's a great question. Actually, my biggest turning point happened at university, and it wasn't something that I had planned at all. I
I
studied
see.
American culture and literature at Hacettepe University, and at that
Oh.
time, I wasn't planning to become an English teacher. A familiar story, right? And my goal was to work in the tourism sector. And while I was a student, I was also working at a company, a conference organization company, part-time. And I was planning to continue working there full-time after graduation.
I see.
And at the same time, pedagogical formation at that time, pedagogical formation courses were part of my university education. Although I was studying American culture and literature, I also took pedagogical formation courses as credit courses.
I see. Hmm.
During those classes, we had to design and deliver lessons, and for one assignment, we were asked to prepare a lesson based on a grammar point. And it was the
Uh-huh.
simple past tense and the past continuous tense. I remember.
That's great that you still remember.
I remember that very specific lesson for a reason. Now I'm going to tell you about that. I remember designing that lesson plan and realizing how much I really enjoyed the process, especially the creativity, the creative part, thinking about how to introduce the topic and engage learners. And then I delivered my first demo lesson in front of my classmates and my instructor, of course. Then it was the response was incredibly positive. And I received wonderful feedback from my classmates and my instructor. And everyone in the room enjoyed it. And that's when I thought, well, actually, I can be an English teacher and I really want to do this. That moment completely changed my direction. And before I even graduated, officially graduated, I applied for a teaching position at Middle East Technical University Development Foundation Schools.
Oh, very nice.
And the one in Mersin. And I ended up working there for so many years. And looking back, those pedagogy courses and those first demo lessons were definitely the most important turning point in my education, I have to say.
It's really great that, and I'm really happy to listen to it. And by the way, it's really great that you still remember it. And thank you very much for sharing that moment with us, Esra Hocam. It's really great to know it. Thank you. And you just mentioned that you've been in education, I think 20, more than 20 years, if I'm not wrong. And
26
I'm sure
years,
that
yeah.
26 years. And I'm sure that during these years you have tried different techniques, methodologies, and strategies in your lessons. You taught the lessons by using them to your students, and you taught them to the trainees during your life. And I'm sure that you have a kind of a philosophy of teaching. So
Mhm.
what is it? What is your philosophy of teaching?
Well, that's a great question, and I think it's something that every educator should really think about. There are, as you mentioned, there are many effective methods, techniques, and approaches in teaching. But for me, everything starts with building rapport with our students. If that
I see.
connection is not there, no method works. This is what I believe. And creating a safe, positive environment for our learners, a place where students feel seen, heard, and respected, where mistakes are okay, and where success is celebrated. I think it is the most important thing. It all starts with building rapport. And I also strongly believe that the teacher's role is not to be a sage on the stage, but a guide on the side. I really like that saying, you know. That means creating a student-centered classroom where learners are active and engaged and where the teacher acts as a facilitator. At the same time, I think teachers should be a source of motivation and inspiration. Um, because when students are supported and encouraged, real learning happens. That is
I
what I
see.
believe. And that
I
is
see.
really at the core of my teaching philosophy.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you very much, Esra Hocam, for sharing it, that philosophy of you. Thank you. Okay, so you know that uh, educators have lots of stories in their life. I'm sure that you also have a lot of stories. And sometimes we have bad stories, and sometimes we have good stories, and sometimes we have, of course, we have failed ones and we have success ones. And my question is about the success stories of yours. Can you tell us one or maybe two success stories of yours, but something inspirational if you have?
Well, that is really meaningful, I have to say, something inspirational. Honestly, I don't usually think of success in terms of one of two moments. For me, my real success stories are my students,
Uh-huh.
who they've become and the impact I've had on their lives. I still receive messages from my former students every now and then.
That's
And those
wonderful.
messages mean everything to me. And when they tell me how a class or a conversation or simply feeling understood made a difference for them, and that is what I truly as success. I'll give you an example, specific
Sure.
example. One message that really stayed with me was from a student who struggled with autism and ADHD. Okay,
Oh.
and I was his English teacher for so many years in the primary school. And he wrote to me on a Teacher's Day and said, now, by the way, now he's in his 20s, okay? And one day he wrote to me on a Teacher's Day and said how grateful he was to have a teacher who understood his challenges and accommodated his needs. That message meant so much to me, really. Today he's a very successful musician, and he can play around 40 different musical instruments. He can write songs in English.
Wow.
And he creates his own music, and he shares his videos, his songs with me. And I'm really proud to have a student like
Wonderful.
him. And he even told me that I was the one who introduced him to bands like the Beatles in the first
Oh,
place. He still remembers that. And now
great.
he's making that kind of music himself. So for me, that story isn't about teaching English, right? It's about
Yes,
connecting with students and touching their lives in different ways. We can never fully know how what we do in the classroom will impact our learners. But sometimes that impact turns out to be something much bigger than we ever imagined, right?
you are right. I
Yeah.
totally agree with you. And that's a nice story about the student that you tell us here. Thank you. Thank you very much, Esra. Okay, so and I have so far I have had these sessions with a lot of the educators,
Mhm.
and we all talk about some personal things and some educational things and some academic things and some things about also their educational system about their countries. And some of them they like it, some of them they don't, of course. They complain about the system of their countries and they had some ideas. And my question is, and it's going to be about the education system of Turkey.
Mhm.
So if you had a chance to change one thing in Turkish education system, what would you change and why?
Mhm. Wow. Okay. Well, if I had the chance to change one thing in the Turkish education system, it wouldn't be specifically about English language teaching, although there are things that need a change in that aspect too. Instead, I would focus on character development and social emotional learning. I
I see.
strongly believe we need to teach students how to be, how to treat others, how to um, resolve conflict, how to behave responsibly. You know, issues like bullying are a serious concern nowadays. We see lots of news on social media about bullying,
Exactly.
right?
Yes,
And
you're right.
unfortunately, yeah, research shows that it is even more widespread than we'd like to admit. It's a huge issue. So that is why I would like to focus on that. At the moment, many school systems are reactive. What do we mean by that? Schools often respond after a problem occurs,
Awesome. Exactly.
right? Through discipline and intervention programs. But I think what we really need is a proactive approach, prevention rather than reaction. So, how can
Exactly.
we prevent these issues? This means explicitly teaching values, explicitly teaching behavior, empathy, and social emotional skills, right? Doing this in a
Yes.
structured and spiral way from kindergarten all the way through high school, right? We're only
Yeah, right.
focusing on academic achievements. We are neglecting this, right, in our educational
In
systems.
education.
And
Exactly.
those reactive systems are not working. The
No,
result,
totally not. Totally not working.
yeah,
Totally. We always do something. We always do something after happens something.
yeah,
Exactly. Not
yeah.
before that.
And I
Exactly.
used to be a teacher in the classroom. You are a teacher. You know, this is the root of many challenges in the classroom, the teacher's face, right?
Yes.
And why this is at the root of many challenges we see in schools. Why teachers struggle, why parents feel overwhelmed, right? Why students face so many social difficulties, and teachers are always left alone, often left alone to deal with these issues. And sometimes we accuse them, saying like, you don't know how to manage your class. However, the problem is not that; it is bigger than that, right?
Yeah,
And yeah,
exactly.
yeah. So there are no strong school-wide systems in place, and teachers are struggling. If schools, teachers, administrators, parents, and students worked together within a clear framework for character, behavior, and social emotional development, it would make a huge difference. This is what I believe, not only academically, but also emotionally and socially. And that is the one challenge I would definitely prioritize. Now, it was like an election speech, but vote for me.
Exactly. That's a really great idea, and I hope in one day maybe you make it real. All right, thank you.
So,
Thank you very much, Ujam. And educators, especially the teachers, they always want to be successful when they go into the classroom, and they always accomplish their plans, and they use the good things and complete their achieves inside in the classroom
mhm.
with their students. And with other things, of course, they want to be successful. But what I'm going to ask you about being successful in the classroom. So what do you think makes a teacher successful in the classroom? And the teacher can easily say that, yes, I was successful in that lesson, or I was successful in this classroom.
Um, a very good question again, a great question. And maybe my answer is not what you're expecting me to say. But for me, one of the key things that makes a teacher successful in the classroom is self-directed professional development. Why? Teaching expertise is a spectrum, right? Every teacher is at a different point on the spectrum in terms of their teaching expertise and experiences. Every
Yes,
teacher is on a different. Every teacher is at a different point on the spectrum in their career with different strengths, challenges, needs, right? That is
yes,
one thing. I believe self-directed PD is so powerful. So how can teachers be involved in self-directed PD? There are some steps that they can
yes,
take. First of all, it starts with really knowing yourself. It starts with a self-reflection. So we need to identify our strengths. Maybe we can do a SWOT analysis, to identify our strengths, our weaknesses, areas for improvement, and then the opportunities we have, and the threats, what are our constraints, like money
exactly.
and budget. And
Uh-huh.
then we set smart goals, right? We
Yes,
identified our weaknesses, then we need to set smart goals. For
goals, all
example, a
right.
novice teacher might say, by the end of the semester, I will learn 5 classroom management techniques, right?
Uh-huh.
This could be a smart goal, okay? And then what comes next? Choosing the PD activity,
I see.
determining the PD pathway. And then that PD activity could be a webinar, a seminar, or a podcast, or reading a book, reading an article, or it could be anything, as long
I
as
see.
you work to achieve your goal. And teachers don't need to spend a lot of time for the PD. They can just read an article while they're commuting to work, or listen to a podcast. I listen a lot of podcasts while I'm traveling. And then what comes next? They need to try it out in the
I
classroom,
see. In the
right?
classroom.
Taking notes, yes. And you try it out in the classroom, put it into practice, and then you reflect again how it worked, if
Very
it
great.
worked or not, right? And
Yes.
then So for me, that ongoing cycle of reflection, learning and practice is what truly leads to success in the classroom. And I also want to add that what success looks like for a novice teacher is different from what it does for a experienced teacher, right?
Experience one.
So yes,
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 I see. Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you, Esra. Okay, would you like to add anything else, or can I move
Um, yeah, we can.
move to
We
another one?
can. Yeah,
Okay.
move to
All right.
another.
So thank you for your answer about successful about being successful. All right, in the classroom and outside the classroom. Thank you. Okay. So you know that teachers actually, let's say educators before starting their career, or teachers like us starting their career, they always have a kind of a classroom in their mind. Oh, my
Mhm.
classroom is going to be like this, my classroom is going to be like that. But when they go inside to the classroom, but the reality is not like that, of course. It's vice versa sometimes. But all the educators and the teachers, they have a dream classroom in their mind.
Right.
So if you could design, Esra Hocam, a dream classroom with unlimited resources, what would it look like?
So I have unlimited resources, right?
Yes, it
I'm
sounds
free.
great, huh?
Okay. Well, first of all, I think my dream classroom exists somewhere because I've seen that
Ah, wonderful.
on the internet. There are classrooms like that, but I'm going to describe that classroom. It would be a spacious, flexible space where students can work in groups using digital tools, of course, and complete different tasks while working toward the same learning outcomes. Okay. And it would be designed around the principles of universal design for learning. Are you familiar with that? So,
Yeah,
so students could access information in multiple formats, collaborate with each other meaningfully, do some projects and everything. An assessment wouldn't be one size fits all.
I
Okay, it's
see.
my little classroom. Okay, so
Very nice classroom.
students would have a choice in how they demonstrate their learning and their understanding. Okay,
Good.
so for me, a dream classroom is inclusive, flexible, and truly student-centered, and
Wonderful.
a place where the teacher acts as a facilitator. And yeah, that is my dream classroom.
That's great. That's very
Yeah.
nice classroom. Do you describe your Esra Hocam? Thank you. Okay, so emojis, of course, and we all use them in our life, especially when we text, when we send email, or when we make a video, or I don't know, when we do kind of a project, we all use them. And people, they love to use emojis. If you, my question is, if you were an emoji as a teacher, let's say today, which one would you be and why?
Okay, a great question again. Do you know the juggler emoji? A juggler, juggling.
I know.
Teaching today often feels like juggling, right? Balancing, lesson planning, teaching, assessment. Do you feel like that, Volkan Hocam? You're a teacher,
Yes,
right?
I agree.
And
I agree.
technology, students' needs, parents' demands, right? And communication all at the same time, and trying not to drop any balls, right? So for me, the juggler emoji really captures what teachers do every day.
Yeah, that's a very nice emoji. Oh, great. And it describes us, I think, great as a teacher.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Esra. And you know that uh, technology, it takes a really important part in our life. And with the technology, the AI comes, of course. And we've been in a kind of AI world for a long time, I think.
Mhm.
So it's everywhere. And sometimes it helps us, and sometimes it makes our job easier. But of course, sometimes I don't know, maybe we use it, but there are some also disadvantages, of course, to using it AI. But
Mhm.
anyways,
Yeah,
mostly it help us.
yeah.
Okay, so and also in education. it really help us, and because it's kind of a time saver
Yeah.
for us.
Mm-hmm.
So if my question is, if AI could take over one boring task in education, you know why I asking this question? In education, there are a lot of tasks that we have to do it. We have no escape. So to free teachers' time, which
Mm-hmm.
task would you give it?
Okay, again, a great question. Last Saturday, I delivered a session on using AI to enhance
Oh,
productivity.
wonderful.
So I actually talked about this topic. And you know what research says? Volkan, a question for you. How many hours do you think an average teacher work? How many hours does an average teacher work per year? Can you answer that question in total?
Wow.
The difficult one.
Ah, a year. How many hours? 8? I don't know. 25,000 hours? Or maybe more than 30 hours? 30,000
Um,
hours?
Oh, that's too much
Too
actually.
much.
Like research says 2,000 and 2,200
Ah,
hours, okay,
2,000.
per
Okay.
year, okay? And a large proportion of that time is spent outside the classroom, okay?
Oh, I
So
see.
that means, as you mentioned, we do a lot of tasks outside the classroom. We spend as much time as we spend in the classroom on what kind of tasks? On admin tasks, on planning, grading, right? Getting prepared for the lesson, creating worksheets, and everything. And I believe that teachers love teaching. That is the part that love more, right?
Exactly. Yes.
What teacher, yeah, as a teacher, I do not like this admin work, report, red tape, right? Writing reports and grading, maybe. I loved giving feedback. That is something that needs human touch. But AI can grade exams automatically, maybe. And I would give these kinds of boring tasks like writing reports, maybe typing lesson plans, and creating worksheets. However, I believe that for lesson planning and creating worksheets, um, we need to be at the heart center of that process as humans because it
I
requires
see.
some human expertise, right? So we
Yeah,
can't solely rely on AI generated output because AI, there is a risk of inaccuracies and misinformation. We need to be cautious about that. And what else? So for grading and feedback, and for reports, again, AI can be helpful, not for the feedback part. I believe that needs a human touch mostly. However, for grading and reports, we can use AI. However, still, we need to be careful. Why?
hmm
Student data is sensitive.
I
So
see.
we need to use reliable, secure resources, tools. Maybe we need to pay for a secure tool. The free tools, we shouldn't be relying on the free tools available on the internet for those.
I see.
So, yeah, so what can we do? We can type our lesson plans, but we need to wear our teacher's hat while we're using AI to write our lesson plans or creating work. We can create worksheets, but at the same time, we need to review the output very carefully.
Yeah,
So yeah,
exactly.
there are tasks AI can help us with, boring tasks. However, we need to be cautious about using AI, right?
Using AI.
Yeah. However, if AI can take over routine tasks, we can focus on teaching what we like more, right? We can spend more energy on
Definitely.
on the things that we like more. Yeah.
Definitely. You are right. You are right, Esra hocam. Thank you. Thank you very much. And you know, teachers and we all always want to be, of course, they always want to be remembered by their students in the future with the things that they do in the classroom, and with the good
Mhm.
things, of course, they want to be remembered by their teachers. But I know that right now you are a trainer, and
Mhm.
I'm gonna change my question about it. So, what do you hope your trainees remember about you years later? So, I mean, you've been doing this job as a trainer for a long
Mhm.
time, and you have seen and you have taught lots of teachers. So, what is your question? Actually, what is your answer to this question?
A very good question again. Like, what do I want them to remember about me years later? Okay, I'd love them to remember that the impact that I created on their lives as teachers, the inspiration that they gained at the end of my presentation, and the energy, the vibe that they noticed during my session, maybe. Okay, maybe I would love to hear that. Wow, that was an inspiring session. Wow, that solved a problem in my classroom. Or years later, they could say, "Wow, I was having this problem. I was struggling with this, but that session was very helpful. The ideas shared at that session was very helpful. And after my sessions, I receive lots of messages from teachers as well. And I really enjoy reading their messages. Sometimes they put the ideas into practice and they share their students' videos, how they're doing the
Very
activities in class. And
lovely.
I really love that. So I want to be remembered as an inspirational uh, trainer. And yeah.
No, like that. Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much, Esra Hocam. Thank you for sharing your ideas about the question. I know that. And there is something here that I remember your storytelling session, Esra Hocam. I use all the techniques you delivered. Look,
Oh,
this is a real answer. This is a real moment
oh,
for the
thank you for
question.
sharing. Thank you for sharing that. Oh, thank you. That really made my day. Thank you. It's wonderful to see
Wonderful.
these kinds of
Thank you
messages.
very much, Esra Hocam.
Oh, Can
There's
Kırkacağım.
another one. I learned that a lot, Esra Hocam, at
Oh,
Antalya.
thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
You see,
Okay.
I don't need to wait for years. You see, I'm so glad that
Glad
to
that.
see these lovely messages. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate that.
Wonderful to hear that. Okay. Esra Hocam, we work really hard, especially in education as a teachers or educators or trainees, and it's not easy to do this job, and something that really motivates us every day to do this job. So when you think about yourself, what motivates you at your work?
What motivates me? Receiving these kinds of messages. Do I have to tell more? So
No,
I'm
that's
motivated by getting tangible results from my efforts. And for me, these messages are the tangible results, I have to say. I'm motivated by the teachers' reactions after my sessions, the feedback I receive from them, and also we're doing something as trainers, all of us, we're trying to help teachers teach better, but at the same time, we're trying to make their lives easier, right, with the techniques that we're sharing with them. So that really motivates me. I really want to help educators globally, all around the world, to be the best versions of themselves as teachers, or to find ideas that'll work in their classrooms. And we touch the teachers and they touch their students. That is the impact we're creating with this job. And that is really motivating for me.
wonderful. Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing it, Esra Hocam. And we just talk about actually some that we said that we live in a technological, the world, and lots of things can happen. And we see that AI or other technological things, educations, happening in a seconds. Maybe now we are
Mhm.
having these live sessions and lots of things happening. And
Mhm.
it's really not easy to follow them every second. But
Mhm.
how do you do? How do you follow these technological improvements, especially in education world, because it's not a small world, it's a very
Yeah.
huge world.
Yeah.
So what, as an expert, what suggestions can you give us to follow them?
Okay. First of all, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing uh, to stay updated with the recent technological advancements. So I follow many educators and thought leaders on LinkedIn, and I regularly watch content on YouTube from people like Joe Dale, Russell Stannard. There are many other
Yes.
names, but I can't remember right now. I also follow lots of AI experts in education and keep up with the articles, videos, and research, do a lot of research in the field. And because I deliver a lot of sessions on AI, on AI integration and educational technology, staying up to date is actually part of my daily routine. I wake up in the morning and I start doing my research. And when I find a tool, what do I do first? I watch a couple of YouTube tutorials to understand how it works. Then I use the tool to familiarize myself with the tool. I play around. Then I think about how I could actually use it to teach languages, because we shouldn't be using these tools just for the sake of using technology. We need to have a pedagogical purpose in mind, right? So I think about how to use that to teach English, if it is worth using, and then I, of course, design some lessons for my sessions. In my sessions, if you join any of my AI sessions, you would recognize that I'm not, it is not like an AI hype session.
Uh-huh.
You will see lots of practical classroom ideas, uh, how to use coursebook materials and use AI at the same time
At
to
the same
enhance
time.
our teaching practices, how to teach better using educational technology, but with the pedagogy in mind. Always, I am for taking a pedagogy first approach,
I
although
see.
I'm passionate about technological tools and everything. So I work on that, and AI is evolving so rapidly, so fast. So if you're working in this area, especially if you're training others, you really need to follow the latest developments closely. Almost every day, capabilities change very quickly, and staying current is essential.
I see. I see. Thank you. Thank you, Esra Hocam. And another comment from Can Hocam. That is what I loved about our workshop, by the way, using the AI
Yeah,
in that. I see.
yeah.
Thank
Thank
you. Thank
you.
you, Hocam. All right. So,
I appreciate that.
thank you, Esra Hocam. And, the time flies and we have no idea what's going to happen in the future, that. And a lot of things can happen, but we can just guess. We don't know. So, but after years and maybe after 10 or 15 years, how do you see yourself? Will you still be trainer or will you try another jobs?
Well, hocam, I'm almost 50. 50 years later. I'll be 65. Let me retire.
Wow,
Uh,
wow.
I'm
You,
just
you look
kidding.
younger.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm just kidding. I'm a workaholic, and I see myself still working, delivering training, because I love what I do. I know I'll be doing the same things following recent AI advancements and and everything. I will go on mentoring and designing impactful professional development and supporting teachers in using AI and educational technology in meaningful ways. Um, and yeah, I don't see myself changing careers in my
That's nice. That's
at the age of
great to know
65.
that. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Esra Hocam. Okay. So, in our life, we face a lot of difficulties and challenging moments. And sometimes we try to fix them, but we cannot handle it and we cannot fix it. And and we try and we can't do it, of course. And at that moment, sometimes we say on our own, "Oh, I wish I could have a kind of a superpower and I can easily solve it, fix it, and I don't know, cope with the problem." And when you think about this superpower part, of course, if you could have one superpower to use in your life, what would it be, and how would it help you?
Well, I have an answer because I thought about that a lot because I really wish I had that superpower. I do a lot of research, read books, and try to learn as much as I can on a daily basis. However, I don't have that superpower. What is that superpower? I wish my I wish I had a superpower. Uh, how can I say that? Like I wish I could learn faster. That doesn't necessarily mean that I am a slow learner. Okay, don't get me wrong. I
No,
wish
of course.
I could learn faster, like a superpower. Okay,
I
that
see.
would be my learning faster. Could be my superpower. Why? I'll g- Actually, I don't need to explain this, I believe, but to learn everything very quickly. When I read a book, I never forget,
That's
and I can be a very knowledgeable person. I'm really into learning more and more every day, but time is not enough. If I
definitely.
could learn faster, that would be awesome, I have to say.
Awesome. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Esrajam, for this superpower. Okay, so think that we finish our interview when you go outside your home and find a lottery ticket, okay, that end up winning $100 million, which is a huge amount of money. What would you do? Be
What are
honest.
you saying, Vulcan and John? I would retire.
No, no.
Okay, I'd travel around the world. No, I'm kidding. I'm a workaholic. I would go on working, but as a hobby. And of course, like it would be a cliche response, but I would travel around the world. But I would definitely start up my own business, and it would be something related to AI and education, a platform maybe, and maybe a platform that would help teachers and students with discipline issues.
Yeah, I see.
Another thing. Yeah.
That's very nice. That's very
Yeah.
nice. Use the money for the sake of education, little
Yeah.
things. I see.
Some of
Great.
it, not all of it.
Some of
Yeah.
it. Some of it, of course. And
Yeah.
of course, you should save some of yourself to
Yeah.
travel around the world to see the
Right.
nice places. Exactly. I see. Great. Thank you. Thank you very much, Rajam. Okay. So, the time I thought mentioned that the flies, and now I'm gonna ask you my last question, which is
Mhm.
the hardest one. Ready for it?
I'm ready.
Okay. What
Ready.
is your motto?
Okay. Okay. Let me think. What is my motto? Um. Okay. It would be as a teacher. I'll respond to this question as a teacher, not as
Sure.
a trainer. And teaching is about impact, not perfection. And it also applies to teacher training, right? Teaching is about impact, not perfection. That really reflects how I see my role as a teacher and a
Uh-huh.
trainer.
I see. That's, oh, sorry, just a moment. And that's a very nice motto, by the way. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. So, Esrajam, I have asked all my questions to you, but now we have a second part of our session, which is a quick fire questions, okay?
Okay.
And this is, as you know, that I'm gonna ask you quickly two things but you need to choose one of it, but you can't think a lot. You need to give an answer quickly in 2 seconds, okay? I hope you like them. All right, ready?
Yeah, good to go.
Okay. Online teaching or face to face?
Face to face.
Board work or slides?
Slides.
Pair work or group work?
Group work.
Morning classes or afternoon classes?
Afternoon classes. I'm not a morning person.
Ah, I see. Okay. Textbook or teacher-created materials?
Textbooks.
All right. Homework or no homework?
No homework.
All right. Visuals or realia?
Visuals.
Motivation or discipline?
Motivation.
Control or trust?
Trust.
All right. Printed materials or digital?
Both. Can I say
Ah,
both?
both. Ah,
Uh,
both. Okay.
both.
Good.
Both digital and printed.
All right. Red pen or green pen?
Green pen.
Okay. Late night planning or early morning prep?
Early morning prep.
All right, good. And the last one, staff room or classroom?
Staff room. I won't lie.
Okay, thank you. All right, now I ask all my questions, and
Yeah.
that's all. Thank you very much, Esra Hocam. And before ending our live sessions, would you like to add anything else? Any suggestions or anything you want to say to the audience?
Thank you very much, first of all, for inviting me, for having me, Volkan Hocam. And it was really fun for me to answer your challenging questions.
Little bit, yes.
Yeah, and thanks everyone for their patience and their lovely messages in the comment. And yeah, thank you very much, everyone.
Okay. All right,
It's been
thank
my
you.
pleasure to.
Thank you very much, Esra Hocam. And I would like to say one more time, thank you very much for your advice, for your suggestions, and especially the precious one, which is your time you spent with us here tonight. And Esra Ezici was with us here tonight with Teacher Talks 228 sessions, and we had a fruitful session. And as you know that we are going to be here next week at the same time on the same day. And until the next time, wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Please take care of yourself and take care of yourself, Esra Hocam. And
Thank
bye
you.
bye, everybody,
Bye,
and
Steve
peace.
Austin. I've seen your message.
Yeah, Steve here. Hello, Steve,
Bye,
and thank you
Steve.
for
Bye, Steve.
joining us. But thank you. Bye bye,
Okay.
everybody, and
Bye,
peace.
everyone. Bye.